Do you really need design school to become a logo designer? Or can you just learn everything online? See, I've done both sides, and the truth may surprise you. Oh, by the way, you want to see what's on top of my cap? Of course, I have Darth Vader. All right, so the reason I'm making, okay, all right, that's better. So the reason I'm making this video, I got a comment right here from a subscriber asking, what does it take to become a logo designer? And I thought that was a great question because honestly, there's no clear path to become a logo designer. You can go to school like I did, or you can just teach yourself. So in this video, I want to share both sides, what design school offered me and what it didn't, and what I discovered just teaching myself these things, and how teaching myself changed everything for me. Now for me, I actually went to design school, got my degree right here, it's my little bachelor's degree. And for me, the experience shaped a big part of who I am as a graphic designer. So one of the biggest pros of going to actual design school is you have a structure-based approach to learning graphic design. You have professors who have been in the industry for years that can help you guide you through your journey. And they don't teach you just theory, they actually walk you through the mistakes you make, help you think to become a better designer. Not only a better designer, but it helps you think like a designer and solve problems like a designer. I know there's a huge benefit of going to an actual design school or university. At least for my school, I know lots of design schools, they do this. By the end of the semester, they do like a design show, show all those students their best projects. And it's pretty cool, In my school, we had a DJ, it was very fancy. And you actually will have different companies will go to these shows, and if your projects were good enough, they hire you right there on the stop, or at least offer you an internship. That's how some of my classmates actually got the real opportunity. And networking is another big one. And I still keep in touch with my fellow alumni. Sometimes we collaborate on a project, or maybe we give feedback to one another. And those connections, they really matter for your career in the future. Now, school isn't perfect. The obvious con is the price. These schools are really expensive. And in my case, some of the things that I learned were kind of outdated by the time I graduated. This industry can move pretty fast, and sometimes schools just can't keep up. Like right now, I'm thinking with this whole AI thing, how are schools handling that? Are they teaching it? Are they not teaching it? I'm kind of curious. So if you're in design school, are you learning this in design school or not? I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments below. And honestly, I kind of feel like I learned more out in the real world, going out there and practicing on my own. So once I decided the path I want to go through, which is branding, visual identity, down that road, I started taking online courses. I took courses from designers that I admire and studying their approach on branding and strategy. I learned strategy in school. We focused more on the framework of design thinking, but it really wasn't until I took those courses on my own that I started to connect the dots, that I really mastered it and started building my own process around it. So for me, design school was great for guidance, mentorship, networking, and exposure from different disciplines. Because when you're at school, you're surrounded by all these people studying different things from photography, fashion design, industrial design, and that kind of opened my perspective a little bit. I think one downside when you go to design school, you kind of graduate as a generalist and not a specialist. And once you graduate, you gotta go deeper on your own, find your own path. Whether that's logo design, branding, visual identity, or you wanna go down web design. So yeah, going to the route of design school have its pros. You get instructor, mentor, classmates you can learn from, and exposure to all these other disciplines. Like I mentioned before, you're surrounded by fashion designers, industrial designers, and all of that really broadens your perspective. But honestly, design school gonna take you so far. Most of what helped me grow really came after I left. When I started learning on my own, things started to really click for me. All right, as you reach this far in the video, I wanna say thank you. And I'd be really grateful if you hit subscribe and help me grow this channel. All right, now let's continue with the video. All right, now for those of you taking the self-taught path, here's some advice I'll tell you to focus on. First, the fundamentals. Learn the basics of design. Things like color theory, typography, and layout. And when I say color theory, I mostly talk about color harmony. Understand the color wheels, the different combinations, the difference between hues and saturation. I say this because there's some information out there that still talk about, oh, red means passion and blue means trust. And in some way it is true, but it's red is passion, but red could also mean danger. So that whole idea of color theory, color theory meaning, I think learn it, but don't focus on it too much. Focus more on color harmony. That's what I would recommend. Because color is context, is emotion, it's culture, it's composition, all working together. All right, typography. Man, typography separates the good designers from the great ones. If you can master type, you can master anything. And this is a really good example because in my design school, we had typography classes, but I felt they could have focused more like fundamentals of typography. Some of the projects that we did and I don't know, I just didn't like the way, at least my school, how they taught typography. But yeah, mastering typography is very important because typography, it would teach you everything. It would teach you rhythm, hierarchy, proportions, and how to make design feel intentional. Whether you're going on branding, poster design, or editorial design, it all starts with type. And once you study the fundamentals, study the greats. Designers like Paul Rocher, Paul Rand, Sol Bass, people whose work defines what design is today. Look at their process. Study how they think. Analyze their logos. If you want to go to logo design, like I did, study their logos because their work has stood the test of time. And try to understand why their work and their logos work. Though I'm still pissed off of UPS. You know, Paul Rand, one of my favorite logos, the one that Paul Rand did for UPS. It's a beautiful logo. To this day, I'm still pissed off that UPS changed that logo. They should really go back to it. All right, next, start creating your own projects. You know, make a fake brand. Maybe redesign a logo you see in your local community. Don't redesign logos from really big brands. I've seen so many videos on that, and it kills my designer heart every time I see a Nike, a reimagining of the Nike logo. Like, no, as a timeless logo, don't touch it. And post your work online and try to get feedback. Hey, you want my feedback? You know, email me and I'll give my feedback on designs you make. You know, when I was learning to become like a better logo designer, there was a challenge. It was a 30-day logo design challenge. Every day you would get a creative brief on a logo you need to design and you would design it. What's good about this challenge, it teaches you to follow the brief. So if you ever working for an agency or you are freelance and some agency contacts you to make a design, you need to learn to follow that brief. So if I could find the link for the 30-day logo design challenge, I'll link it down in the description below. I did a challenge, it was fun, I learned a lot. And yeah, I think it really helped you if you really want to go this path of being a logo designer. All right, being self-taught isn't about skipping steps. It's about, how can I say this? It's about building them yourself. Learn the fundamentals, study the masters, and create as much as you can. Every project you finish, even the small ones, builds your eye, your instincts, and even your confidence. All right, so now you see both sides, design school route or self-taught path. Here's my honest advice. There is no single right way to become a logo designer. It really depends on you, the resources you have available, and how you like to learn best. If you need that university structure, you need deadlines, you need professors, then maybe design school is the best choice for you. I mean, it was for me. But if you're naturally curious, disciplined, and you're willing to put in the reps every single day, self-taught is completely 100% doable. What really matters most is consistency. Keep showing up, keep learning, keep creative, and keep sharing it. If I could go back to my younger self, the one who was too scared to start, too scared to fail, I'll tell him this. You're never really fully ready. You just have to start. Every project, every mistake, every late night YouTube tutorial, it all adds up. You learn, you grow, you evolve. So yeah, there you have it. That's my honest take on how to become a logo designer. Whether you go to school or self-taught, it's all about how bad you want it and how consistent you're willing to be. So if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're curious about how I design a brand from start to finish, you can check this video right here. Or if you want to keep learning more about design, I got a video down here for you too. All right, that's all I have today. Catch you on the next one. See ya.